All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight analysis video. Okay, y'all, Weili versus Joanna 2. This is what I'm talking about when I say like my rematch is well done. This is exactly what I mean when I say I like my rematches well done. When a fighter goes in there, they don't want to repeat history. They want to make the right improvements, the right adjustments, and they want to put on a performance. You know, they want to put on a dominant performance. Let me put it that way. Not like a fight of the night, but a dominant performance. They want to make that thing one-sided. They don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges. They want to go in there and get a quick finish or a dominant finish. And that's exactly what Weili did over Joanna. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, okay, Joanna had 2 years off. She was rusty. She wasn't ready. Tough. No excuses, right? Because, hey, she talked herself into a #1 contender fight. Dana White, he co-signed it. He believed in her. He said, okay, after she beats Weili or whoever wins this fight, they get to fight Carla Esparza next for the strawweight title, right? That's how it was going down. He co-signed her. After 2 years off, he said she was ready. He didn't even try to put her in there with Marina Rodriguez and Mackenzie Dern. He said she gets Weili next in a #1 contender fight. After that, she gets a title shot, right? So here we are. Weili, I give her full credit for her improvements. You know, she put on a great performance on the feet, on the ground, worked on her boxing, knows how to incorporate her ground game, you know, with her boxing as well, how to switch levels. So, yeah, I think we did see Weili 3.0 in this fight. I give her full credit for it because she looked like the Weili of old, but at the same time, she looked like a much more stronger version of that. You know, she looked like a much more confident version with better defense here against, you know, a very solid striker in Joanna. Because, hey, like I said, I give Weili full credit because everybody that I know on my channel said Joanna still has it. She still has enough to pull out a decision. You know, they said she was ready. And yeah, I know what Joanna was the underdog going into this fight for real, though. But, you know, when you look at the actual betting odds. But, you know, I know a lot of people said, hey, Joanna still has the skills enough to outbox and outstrike Weili because they didn't believe in her skills. But I said, you know what? Weili's been working hard. She's on a 2-fight losing streak. But, hey, you know, a fighter like that is dangerous. You know, a fighter like that is dangerous. And Weili, like I said, she wanted to go in there and perform a rematch that was well done. This one was cooked to perfection. She went in there, knocked out Joanna in the second round, and put her into retirement. That's what I'm talking about. This one looked really scary because this one really looked like she wasn't going to get up. Like it was like she wanted to get up, but she felt more so defeated. You know, it wasn't just like the chin. Like she got dropped, but you could see her head like raise back up and just go back down. But I'll talk about that here in a minute. I'll talk about that in the video, man. It was just a shocker to me. But let's talk about the fight real quick. I mean, the first round, I noticed right away, Weili looked more confident. Weili looked more confident in her stance. You know, she was closing distance well, had her hands up. She was timing Joanna's leg kicks. Like, Joanna was starting to establish a good calf kick right away. But I like the boxing and the timing of Weili. Like, every time Joanna would fire off that right kick to the calf, Weili would come over the top with the right hand. She would land it right on the forehead. Now, Joanna did okay, like I said, with the leg attack because she did knock Weili off balance at one point, but it didn't phase her because Weili got right back up, started closing distance, just landing combinations, good right hands to the head again. And then she closed distance and switched levels, takes Joanna down and starts working, starts landing good ground and pound. Like, you're used to seeing Joanna get right back up after a takedown like this. Like, you're used to seeing her scramble back up. Not this time. Like, Joanna was really struggling to get back up. And when she finally did after like 30 seconds, she gets taken right back down again and starts getting worked again. More heavy shots. Once again, she gets back up. Weili takes her right back down and just starts working again. So it's all over again. Like, she just continues to work her like this. And like I said, I've never seen Joanna like on her back like this struggling. You know, she was really getting work. I really think that, you know, this wrestling of Weili with taking the coaching of Henry Cejudo is really paying off because even the way she was handling the legs and the neck of Joanna in these positions, you know, she was really like getting her in some good dominant positions where she could just hold her and keep her down. And then she would put her in a position where she could land like some good forearms to the head. And like that third takedown, when she got the full mount, I thought it was about over because she started landing some vicious ground and pound. But Joanna managed to get back up after taking all this punishment. She started to look a little sharp again, landing some kicks here and there, like a couple good right hands. But when she threw one telegraph kick, Weili timed it, caught it, took her down for one more time, fourth time in the round, you know, to just kind of cap off the round, just to let you know what Weili was working with in this fight. The second round, Weili's boxing was looking real sharp, timing those right hands again, landing some nice karate kicks to the body, kind of like Manon does, you know, those side kicks to the body. And then she was landing those other vicious side kicks to the left side of Joanna's body. And I think those were what was really slowing Joanna down because Joanna's balance really looked off in this fight. Like, every time she would eat those kicks, it was like she was kind of afraid to come in. You know, like she was trying to force an offense, but this wasn't the Joanna we know, right? Like, she really looked off here, and she was having to respect those body kicks. Like, this is the first time I've seen Joanna never establish a jab before. You know, she never established a jab in this fight. She couldn't get the rhythm down of Weili just because she was doing a lot of movement here. And like I said, she had Joanna's timing down. So at that point, one of my keys to victory was about to be worked in here because I saw Joanna switch to southpaw. I said, okay, she's switching to southpaw, but it didn't really have any effect here because, again, Weili was just the much more confident fighter. She was much more confident, and as Weili was stepping around, just kind of controlling in and out, you know, she was just stepping around, even in that southpaw stance. Like I said, it didn't really have any effect. Joanna came stepping in. She threw a straight left hand and then threw a right hook, and she didn't step back. And as she dropped her right hook, Weili spins around with a beautiful spinning back fist that just cracks Joanna in the jaw, and Joanna just dramatically falls face first onto the canvas, and her head raises up only to go back down, and the ref is like, that's it. Joanna has been defeated. And like I said, when I say defeated, I don't even mean knocked out. I mean, she just looked done. She looked defeated. I mean, from the first round when she had nothing to the second round, she had nothing to offer, to the knockdown when she just kind of raised her head and went back down, that was it. I say that one looked more shocking because when we go back to the Rose fight, you know, Rose hit her with the left hook. She looked dazed. You know, she looked dazed, and Rose went off with some ground and pound, and I know she did kind of tap with the strikes, but at the same time, she still kind of looked focused. You know what I mean? Like, she just looked rattled from those shots. But this one here just looked like a fighter that says, I ain't got it anymore. You know, she was just like, I'm done, you know? And that's what it looked like to me. That's why I say it looked more shocking, because you're not used to seeing Joanna get dropped in this fashion, you know, and just get dominated throughout the fight. She'll have her moments, and then somebody will catch up and outwork her. But this time, she just got completely crushed. Like I said, though, I know 2 years off has something to do with it, but when Dana White co-signs it and he wants to put her in there and try to make this big statement, and, you know, like I said, everybody that was picking her, that felt she could do it, there shouldn't be any excuses, right? Y'all felt confident enough to pick her. So, hey, you know, I'm giving full credit to Weili. Shout out to Weili. You know, she did what she needed to do this time around to make it all in her favor. And after the fight, of course, she called out Carla Esparza, which is what I want to hear. You know, whoever wins this fight gets the title shot, right? She called out Carla Esparza. She said, hey, let's do it in Abu Dhabi. Let's do it in a neutral ground. You know, we're not in the U.S. We're not in China. We can just throw down here. We can get mutual respect. And that's where it's going to happen, right? That's where it should happen. But my thoughts on that, I love it. You know, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to make it known. You got to make that call out if you want to, you want to get that belt back. And Abu Dhabi, I agree with that. That's a good place to have it. I think that this version of Weili could really, really destroy Carla, just early look. But we never know, because Carla's wrestling. We'll see how it can match up with Zhang Weili. But, you know, Zhang Weili is so physically strong, man. And we've seen how Carla Esparza looked against Suarez, who's another physically strong wrestler. She totally gets shuts down, right? I mean, she has the heart to stay in the fight, but she totally gets shuts down, you know? So, I mean, we'll talk about this in another video. I just wanted to acknowledge that, you know, Zhang Weili has been looking confident. She's ready to get back. You know, but the one fight I really do want to see her in another version of is against Rose. You know, I want to see her in a much more confident, competitive fight. It just seems like the second fight could have been better. The first fight was just so quick. But this version, this version of Zhang Weili against Rose, I think it would make for a much better fight now. You know, I think it would make for a much better fight. As for Joanna, shout out to Joanna. You know, I said before, you know, she talks a lot. She has this big ego. Sometimes you be like, oh, man, what? Just keep it quiet, Joanna. Just keep it quiet. You don't deserve a title shot. You know, I made a lot of videos like that, and I stand by them because, hey, I was speaking facts, right? But shout out to Joanna for announcing her retirement, you know, laying it all down on the line for this last time, one final time, you know, putting the gloves down in the cage to let you know it's final. You know, like I said, I got to show her a lot of respect, you know, for coming in after 2 years off and going in there fighting the best and wanting to fight the best fighter, you know. So, you know, she's used to being humble now, you know, the humility and all of that. So I got to give her respect on that note. She's still the longest reigning strawweight champion in the game. Nobody's been able to match that. For a fighter everybody calls decision queen, she still puts on some of the best fights. Like, I can still turn on one of her fights now and watch it all the way through. All 5 rounds are always exciting, whether, you know, where she's on the giving end or the receiving end. Had some really good fights. You know, her title winning fight over Carla Esparza The blueprint she laid out to beat Jessica Andrade with just a beautiful jab. She has one of the best jabs in WMMA, in my opinion. Tough, durable, high work rate, physically strong. You know, she had a lot of that in her heyday. You know, 2015 and what was it? 2015 up to 2017, right? So yeah, man. Even since then, you know, she's always put on some good non-title fights, even on the losing end. But it's time to go. It really is time to go. I think that 2-year layoff and that 5-round beating really kind of settled into her body, and it made it age. Sometimes I think when a body takes time off, a fighter's body takes some time off, it can heal, especially if the beating wasn't that bad. But I think the beating that she suffered against Zhang Weili in that first fight, in that big hematoma, I think it kind of made the body age a little bit faster. I mean, some people might not agree with me on that, but I think it did. You know, I think it did in that sense. See, fighters like George Foreman that took 20 years away, they had plenty of time to recover and rest and whatever, you know. But like Joanna, just 2 years off, and you know, going right back into one of the hardest sports, very brutal sport. Hey, you know, I don't think you can just get it back like that, especially when you're dealing with Weili, who's constantly improving. You know, so yeah, man. Final thoughts. Great fight. You know, great knockout. Like I said, respect to Joanna. She's done now. Stay done. Be gone. And that's it. That's all I got to say. Don't try to come back, because from here it just goes downhill. Zhang Weili, if she wants the title shot, why not? I mean, never fought Carla Esparza. That's a fight I like to see. But, yeah. Guys, let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Who's next for Zhang Weili? Do you want to see it be Carla? Does she defeat Carla? Where does Joanna go from here? Does she still stay around in the game as a promoter, trainer? What do you want to see her do from here? Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.